Thank you all for joining me here today on Fun with Food. Today we are going to make chocolate buttercream icing. Let's go over the very simple recipe. You really don't even need a recipe, it's very simple. All you have are 3 sticks of butter, a cup and a half of butter, 3 sticks of butter or margarine, 1.5 cups, 8 ounces of soft cream cheese, and this is all softened ahead of time. Start with 6 cups of confectionery sugar. Now, when you buy it by the bag and it comes in 2 pound bags, just so you know, there's 4 cups to one bag, 2 pound bag. So the first bag you don't even have to measure out. You know that it's 4 cups. All you need is 2 cups to add to that. We're gonna add a teaspoon of salt, and we're also going to add 3 teaspoons of vanilla extract and 1.5 cups of unsweetened cocoa powder. Now let's get started this very simple recipe. Now remember the first thing I said? I told you before we start any baking, you always take a dry towel and wipe out your bowl. Just you put it away clean, but it's just good to wipe it out beforehand. And I've done this already. I wiped down our pouring shield because we are going to be making buttercream icing and the sugar may fly all over. Just make sure your shield is done correctly with all the clips. Actually, before you put that on, you want to put in the butter and cream cheese. You take your small scraper. And then put on your pouring shield. See, better do this now than while you're mixing. Okay, that's done. Oh, we also forgot. We're going to add 1/4 cup of milk. You don't pour in the 1/4 cup of milk all at one time. Measure out 1/4, which we'll do right now, and you just add a tablespoon by tablespoon. After you add some sugar, sugar milk, sugar milk. Let's just measure out 1/4 cup. Actually, I'm just gonna measure out a 1/2 cup. You don't have to use it all. You only use it till the icing is at the consistency you like. And I'll show you. Okay. Now that we have our butter in, okay. For the third time, we'll put on the shield and make sure the little opening for the mixer is towards the back. This has a little opening in it. Some shields don't have an opening at all, so it makes sure the flour doesn't go anywhere. This one, the little opening is in the back of the mixer, so I want to make sure. And while that's creaming, we're going to measure out a cup and a half of cocoa powder. And what did I say? Always pour your thing, pour your ingredients with a spoon into the never dip the cup in. Get air in there and you'll lose space for your ingredients. This is a half a cup, so I'm gonna do this 3 times. One more. Don't forget, tap on the cup so all the air bubbles out. Right now, just put exactly what the rest of the calls for. If you ever if you think you want a tiny bit more, you make your a little bit darker, you can. Now we're gonna also put our teaspoon of salt into our cocoa powder. One, two, and start to mix a little bit. Now that's just get still some. We're gonna add a tiny spoonful, just one little spoonful. That's all. Now this is all done. Now we're gonna do 1 or 2 tablespoons of milk, and then we're going to alternate. Now, we'll use one of these cups and carefully. You don't want this to explode all over the place. Now that we have no space for fire mix over, put the milk back here. One, two, six. Just try 80. That's why it's always good to have your mise en place ready. Have all your ingredients measured out, except the real ones that only require a tablespoon or a teaspoon. Be careful because this is where they can get messy. No, about 4 or 5 more. Then it's gonna start getting harder to mix, so we'll add some more milk. Two, one more. Now it's getting a little bit. I'm gonna add 4 more cups or 4 more sugar. Now remember, this is only 6 cups in bulk. The recipe calls for 7 or 8. You don't have to use the 7 or 8. 6 will be fine for what you need. You judge it. 1/4. 4. 2/4. 3/4. Now we need one more cup. Wherever this gets, this is what we use. We'll do 1, 1. Now I really want this to hold its shape. I mean, you can always add a little more milk before you put it into your pastry bread to pipe it out on your cupcake. You can't take away if it's too soft. So if it's too thick right now, doesn't matter. You can always add more sugar, more milk to it. You can't take away milk if too much is in there and it's too runny. Or you can use add more sugar, which you might or might not have on hand. Now we're just going to take our spatula, get powdered sugar from whatever it is. See, now if we didn't have this on here, we would have a mess of powdered sugar. Believe me, I've done it before. Before these come out with guards, I would forget to add a towel around this. I have sugar everywhere in the kitchen. That's why if you don't have a guard, just put a towel around it. When at this stage where you're adding the sugar and milk, every time you turn the mixer off and turn it back on, wrap a towel around it if you don't have a guard. Something that you won't get dust all over your kitchen. And don't worry, this will get even thicker as it sits in the refrigerator. So believe me, if it gets really too thick for what you need it for, you can always add more milk. But I don't think you're gonna have to, because this could use to be a little more thicker for what I want for it. And everybody's different. Not everybody is the same. Nobody, not everyone works with the icing for this at the same consistency. Now, before you put the container to store it, just make sure you don't get all that goodness sugar in there. Perfect. Now I'll show you how it's gonna come out. You should be able to see this. Um, see, I, let's see. I have some on my finger. It's not falling off. I have some on the spatula. I turn upside down. It doesn't fall off. But that will get a lot more thicker in the oven. But I mean, not in the oven, in the refrigerator when you chill it. But remember, you're going to take this out at least 2 hours in advance to when you're going to use this to ice with. 1 to 2 hours, just to let it get soft. I mean, if you want to go ahead, you can put it back in the mixer and beat it up again. But I really want to do that. That could make it too soft. And the reason for making this ahead is so that you don't have to get your mixer dirty. Everything is cleaned up. You do it ahead of time. All right, there we go. So I wanted to thank everyone for joining me here today, having fun food with AJ, and we'll have a nice day. Thank you. This is our cream cheese chocolate buttercream icing. It'll be a favorite all your parties.